Welcome to Soft Talk. Today's presentation is titled From Tianjin to Bodh Gaya. By the way, if you have not subscribed to our channel, I request that you do. We are trying to promote citizen journalism. We are trying to be your true voice. So your support means the world to us. Please also comment on our presentation, subscribe to it, and keep that like if it really touches your hearts and minds. So welcome to the program. Prime Minister KP Sharma Oli has two important engagements within a very short span of time. This comes amid important developments that will have a it will have a long-term and direct bearing on Nepal, and uh, it will have a bearing on generations of Nepalese to come. The first engagement is his participation in the Shanghai Cooperation Organization Summit. This summit is taking place from August 31 till September 1 in Tianjin, and it marks the fifth time China is hosting the summit, with this edition set to be the largest summit in the organization's history, as per the summit's homepage. Nepal is a dialogue partner of the grouping, along with a lot of countries. They are Azerbaijan, Armenia, Cambodia, Turkey, and Sri Lanka, whereas Afghanistan, Belarus, Iran, and Mongolia are the observers of the bloc. This important grouping, the Shanghai Cooperation Organization, had China, India, Kazakhstan, Kyrgyz Republic, Pakistan, Russia, Tajikistan, and Uzbekistan as members. Nepal's participation comes just days after China and India agreed to resume trade through the Lipulek Pass. Thus, they have moved a step further from a 40-point bilateral trade agreement of 2015. Notably, this development came despite Nepal's repeated communication, despite Nepal's repeated objection with both the neighbors and claims over the Kalapani-Lipulek-Limpiadhura region, of which uh, Lipulek forms a part. Based on the Treaty of Sugauli, Nepal's claims, Nepal's objections, uh, Nepal's communications are based on a solid ground. These claims are based on the Treaty of Sugauli of 1816 AD, maps issued during the British colonial rule uh, of what is now India, the national census conducted during the Panchayat regime, old coins featuring the map of Nepal, and New Delhi's admission that it is a disputed territory. This negative development has only bolstered the narrative that Nepal ends up paying the bill of both war and peace between the two neighbors in the form of illegal Indian occupation of the territory that started after a band of Indian troops sought refuge there, following their defeat in the 1962 war with China, and in the form of deals to promote bilateral trade through the occupied territory. With dense forests of the Yor, Gone, and security forces spread too thin along the porous border with India, both territorial and demographic aggression into Nepali territories has become a cakewalk. It has become an everyday affair of sorts, exposing Nepal to serious security threats and exacerbating security concerns of India vis-à-vis Nepal at the same time. With a robust security presence along the borderlands, India, the major onus is on India to intercept unwanted elements that seek to enter Nepal with nefarious designs. The onus is therefore on India to intercept such elements within their territories instead of using the open border with Nepal as a population check valve and portraying Nepal as a hideout of elements inimical to Indian interests. Northwards, the Himalayas and sub-Himalayan treacherous terrains make such aggression, both territorial and demographic aggression, quite difficult, even as the long persisting Tibetan refugee crisis remains a thorn in Nepal's flesh, despite our unwavering and ever deepening mantra like commitment to the One China policy. Back to the summit in Tianjin. The important event coincides with the 80th anniversary celebrations of the victory in the Chinese People's War of Resistance against Japanese aggression and the World Anti-Fascist War, as well as the 80th anniversary of the founding of the United Nations. The summit of a grouping that has amplified. This summit means the summit of the Shanghai Cooperation Organization. It has amplified the collective voice of its member states on major international and regional issues, made the system of governance fairer and more equitable, and united and guided the global south in building a community with a shared future for humanity. That is what the SCO claims in its website. This summit, according to the website, is expected to be an event of friendship, solidarity, and tangible achievements, highlighting the grouping's resilience and stability amid global uncertainties. Together with all member states, China will remain committed to the SCO's founding mission, fulfill its responsibilities through concrete actions, and seek common prosperity through cooperation. The grouping's website further states, by leading the organization into a new stage of stronger unity, deeper collaboration, greater vitality, and broader achievements, China and its partners will contribute more SCO strength. They will contribute more SCO strength to lasting world peace and shared development, goes the website of the SCO, the homepage of the SCO. The event is quite important for Nepal as it gives her a unique opportunity to put forth her concerns vis-a-vis the territorial aggression, in particular with the two neighbors on the sidelines. But it's unclear whether Prime Minister Oli will get to meet his Indian counterpart Narendra Modi and Chinese President Xi Jinping on the sidelines for a meaningful talk. Indeed, Prime Minister Oli has had a meeting with Chinese President Xi Jinping, but it's not yet clear whether this meeting was fruitful, whether it was meaningful, or it was just a courtesy call. We don't know as yet. And we don't know whether a meeting with Indian counterpart Narendra Modi will materialize on the sidelines of that summit. In his address to the parliament on August 29, Prime Minister Oli said that bilateral meetings had been confirmed with a host of global leaders like Russian President Vladimir Putin, Maldivian President Mohammad Muizu, Cambodian Prime Minister Samdech Moha Burbar Thipadei Hunmanet, Laotian Prime Minister Sonakse Phandon, and Vietnamese Prime Minister Pham Minh Chinh. At a time of rising jingoism, neo-fascism, and neo-colonialism, the SCO summit will give Nepal a deeper sense or shock rather of a rapidly evolving world order and what lies ahead for countries like Nepal. Toward the end of this piece, I wish to take the readership, I wish to take the audience to Maitighar, a Hyde Park of sorts of Nepal, located in Kathmandu, where diverse groups from the owners and proprietors of uh, private schools to sugarcane farmers, these people, these diverse groups have been staging protests for days on end. After a series of protests from loan shark victims, teaching and non-teaching staff of community schools, and the like. While the private schools and their umbrella organizations have been accusing the government of trying to cause the collapse of school education in the country and force lakhs of school children to seek education abroad. Sugarcane farmers have been accusing it of not bothering to pay the farmers what is their due. Rupees 70 for every quintal of sugarcane produced. These farmers, these producers have been insisting that the government can pay them half. These uh, farmers, sugarcane producers have been accusing the government of withholding the sum, citing a financial crisis, though it has enough money on its vaults. Uh, these the protesters, the protesters grouped under Sugarcane Producers Federation while organizing a program at Maitighar on August 29. The Federation accused the government of withholding the sum due to biases on the part of Prime Minister KP Sharma Oli and Finance Minister Vishnu Prasad Paudel. One of the speakers said that this was meant to settle some old scores. This speaker leveled a serious allegation, particularly against Finance Minister Vishnu Prasad Paudel, stating that he had withheld this sum to settle some old scores against the sugarcane farmers. These farmers have been stating that this pledge, this promise to just give the sugarcane farmers 70 rupees is very much there. That commitment is very much there in the VAT, in the red book, in the budget. And this is in fact a VAT payment, value added tax payment for the farmers, and it's not some act of generosity, and that these people, the farmers said that they are not here to beg, but rather hitting the streets to for the protection of their rights, to get what is their due. That is what the take is at this on vis-a-vis this issue. Everyday protests, whether it's private schools or sugarcane farmers, loan shark victims, community schools, uh, these kinds of protests that are taking place every day make it amply clear that the government is losing credibility and fast, as if factionalism growing within the CP and UML, within the ruling party, the CP and UML, after the party leadership's refusal to let former President Vidya Bhandari re-enter party politics were not enough, not to mention a series of scams that have become the order of the day, making a mockery of higher ideals like good governance, transparency, accountability, and above all, democracy. Amid preparations for a beleaguered ruler's visit to Bodh Gaya, there is increasing fear among the Nepalese. What is that fear? They fear that this prime minister will end up doing yet another irreparable damage to the country and her peoples, like a myopic, clan interest driven and beleaguered autocrat did during did these people, the Nepalese people, fear that this prime minister also will end up doing yet another irreparable damage to the country and generations of Nepalese to come, like a myopic, clan interest driven and beleaguered autocrat did under the rubric of democracy in July 31, 1950. I ask the readers to turn back the pages of July 31, 1950 to just grasp what I am saying, to what treaty I am referring to. Taking a leaf from acts of high treason like the Kosi Agreement of 1954, Conduct Agreement of 1959, and the Mahakali Treaty of 1996, the Prime Minister will be doing a great service to Nepal and generations of Nepalese by adopting extreme caution at a time when roadblocks are clearly visible down south. With this remark, I wrap up this edition of Soft Talk. Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. Thank you for your unwavering support to citizen journalism, a strain of journalism that is free from corporate feed and greed. Thank you.